All right, so you should go to your Google Slides and click on Add-ons. Go to Nearpod. So you can see there the different tools you have available. So if you click on Poll, this is going to show up. So you can add an image from your desktop. You can add multiple things you can see there. You can add an image from your desktop. You can search for an image. You can drop something from Google Drive or just drag it in, like I said, from your desktop. So then you just enter your question. Just click in all your possible answers, and you can see there that we do have add another answer. You can set a timer. It takes a little bit to render the thing. Okay, you can also just drag an image from your desktop right into the Google Slides. Then if you hit one of the options, once you already have a slide, it's actually going to create a new slide below it. Okay, so again, you have the timer option. You can add an image for that slide. If you want to enable audio recording, you can do that as well. Okay, you can also insert an image to a slide and then change it to a drawing slide. So you put some directions there for what you actually want them to draw. And then down there in the lower right, you have the option to change it to a drawing slide. So the students can then draw on that slide when you present it. Okay, so let's add an open-ended question. One thing I didn't mention earlier is the equation editor, which is at the pi symbol at the bottom left of where you enter your question. So when you click the Add Media, you can see the different file types that are supported here. You can search for images, or you can bring them in from Google Drive in addition to dragging them right from your desktop. So the cool thing is that we can actually add some Pear Deck slides into this. So we do not get the Pear Deck interactivity, but if you've seen me do the Pear Deck one, so there are a lot of actually cool prompts in there. They're basically ready-made slides with some graphics that we can just go right into that template and grab. So one that I really like is the social emotional learning, so I don't have to go searching the web for graphics. I could just pull one of those in really easily. Delete the Pear Deck logo at the bottom because it doesn't work in Nearpod anyway. I also like their beginning of the lesson questions, so I will bring those in. Then when we're ready to go back to Nearpod, we can call that back up. Right, so let's do a collaboration one for that one so they can get to see one another's posts. So that's really cool. So again, you get to enter an image, you can search for one, you can put one in there from your desktop. If you scroll down, you can see that you have different background settings, so those are kind of cool. So maybe after going over the homework, you want to add another poll to get a feel for how they feel about it. All right, so let's see a matching pairs one. So you're just going to click on Add Pair at the bottom. Okay, and you can't drag and drop. You can either enter text or click on Add an Image, and then you can search for one, or at this point you can drag it in, or you can look at those options at the bottom. So you're going to enter the image now, insert the image that goes with that one. Click Add Another to add another pair. And then you just do it for your remaining pairs. Okay, you just hit Done when you're, so you can preview right there. And then you just hit Done when you actually are done. Alright, so this is a fun series of questions called Time to Climb. And again, the kids get feedback whether or not they're correct. So you had various questions and you set times for them. So you click the checkbox next to the correct answer for each question and press Save when you're done. Alright, so let's look at adding web content. So in math, for example, we can add a Desmos activity, we can add a Desmos slide, but you can add any kind of web content here that'll show up in the slide that the kids can interact with. All right, let's go through the process of adding video. So you have the option of adding something from your Google Drive, but you are limited to 20 megabytes. Okay, so probably one of the easiest options is for you to actually upload your video to your YouTube account if it's one that you want to show, and then go ahead and put it into the address bar right there. If you try to embed it using Google Slides, it actually won't be able to be played on the student end. So also you can upload a BBC video. They have options there for the different types of content. Okay, let's do a fill in the blanks one. So in the big text box there, you type in the entire sentence or phrase that you want to have words inserted into. And you have the choice of a few different styles. Okay, then next you're going to click on the words or symbols that you want removed from the phrase or the expression. At the end of the video, I'll give you a preview of what it looks like on the student end. The PHET simulations are a very, very cool feature of Nearpod. I've been using them for many, many years. So here you can see a list of the different categories. So you can just scroll through and pick one. All right, let's explore the field trip options. You just enter a search term and scroll through the different options. At the end of this video, I'll show you what our choice looks like on the student end. You can see that Flipgrid is an option, so you can insert a Flipgrid into a Nearpod. Flipgrid will be an option in Module 2. Okay, once you've finished your entire lesson, click on Save and go to Nearpod. So you can see your lesson being saved to Nearpod. It can take a little bit. That's why you want to get this done before you're ready to present your lesson. You also have the option to create your entire lesson starting here at nearpod.com by clicking on the plus symbol in the upper right. Okay, now I'm going to show you one more feature and also what some of the things we just created look like on the student end. You have the option to add a question in the middle of your presentation. So if we do an open-ended question, we just enter it and hit share. And then at the bottom, we can close the activity. At the bottom of the screen, if you click the up arrow in the middle portion, you can see different slides and advance to them, so you don't have to go in order. You have the option of letting the students play the video on their own devices, or you have the chance to decide to be the one who controls the playback of the video. Okay, so all devices means the students get to play it on their own. All right, so here is what it's going to look like on the student end for a few different slides. So what I did is I went ahead and I want to jump to the web content slide. And so you're allowed to do that, jump ahead, and so then you will just hit share to jump right to that slide. So here's what it is on the student end, and again, as I showed in the demo before, they can play around with this. All right, so let's now go to this video one again. So again, if I click all devices, the students get to play it. If it's this device only, here's what it's going to look like on the student end. Okay, they're waiting for the video to be played, and then you will go ahead and play it on your end. All right, so then let's just do the virtual field trip. All right, so there's on your end, and here on the student end, you can see they get to play around with it. Here's the simulation one. So you can see the students can play around with that. And I think that's enough.